actually suffered racism all my life. I'm actually at the point of wanting to leave this country. I've really had enough.
When I was leaving, I actually, cried so much that Adrian had to promise me. I cried. Sis, when I mean I cried till by the time I got to London, I'd like, I cried. I did not want to leave, and I was crying. And when I was leaving the airport in Gambia, one of the immigration officers said to me to stop crying. And I said, okay. And the tears were still running. And so I said, I don't want to go back. This is my home. I don't want to go back. And she said to me, stop crying and start planning. You'll be back. You'll come back. Don't come and disrespect the people. Whatever you do, that is certainly a no-no. Yeah. Wakanda forever. Yeah. Don't disrespect the people. Okay. Certainly do not go online and disrespect the people. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll just make a rod for your own back.
Jumbo good people, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Returnee series. Before we start, hit that like button because today we're going to be hosting one of your favorites, someone who's been on the continent for so long. You love her. I mean, she's one of the most vocal people who are pushing for change on the continent. Guess who? Guess which country? Let me invite our guest. Hello.
Hello, African Tigress. Thank you so much for inviting me on again. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you. And everybody subscribe, like, share, comment down below.
Always a pleasure hosting you. I love your energy. I love how you are so passionate about the things that you do. It's just on another level. I don't even have better words to describe it. But again, you can introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
Okay, and like I said, a lot of people don't know me. So I'm Juliet, and I'm the co-founder of BLAXIT with my husband Adrian and Caffrey and my brother Seth and my family. And we're BLAXIT family. We have many members. I think I can't remember how many now, but at last count, it was almost 47,000 members of the BLAXIT family worldwide. And we are a YouTube channel, BLAXIT on YouTube, and we're all about repatriation and relocation back to the motherland. And also a member of CODE, the Council of African Descendants, here in the Gambia, alongside my husband, who's vice chair, with Matthew and Luke McKenzie, who is the chair. So yeah, I'm here. Lots has happened. It's so lovely to see you again. And for anybody who doesn't know about BLAXIT, come and visit the channel. And also support African Tigress as much as you can, and watch her all the time. I'm a big fan of African Tigress. And I'm loving the returnees. The returning. What do you call it? Is it like a
series? It's a returnee series. Yeah, it's like a series.
Yeah, it's a series. Yeah, I'm loving the returnee series. I really am. So it's so good to see so many other people like myself who have returned home to the motherland. Come here to live permanently with their family, with their children, to build a home and to create employment and working opportunity and create inward investment for Africa. It's so exciting to see everybody who has the same energy and who's working with their brothers and sisters on the continent. It is amazing. I'm loving it. So yeah, I'm Gambian and loving being in Gambia. Yeah.
All right. Why Gambia? Why not Kenya?
Well, I was born in the UK. I was born in the UK. And it's funny because my daughter chose Kenya. Yeah, she loves Kenya, my daughter. So,
let her come.
She made a great program about Kenya. I'll send it to you.
She can come and stay here. She can be my family.
If she wants to. We'll share her.
Yeah.
And she done it for her platform Culture. She has a platform online called Culture, which is also on YouTube, CURLTURE. And so she did a great program about Kenya when she went there. Absolutely amazing. She bought me a red blanket and jewelry and all kinds of beautiful things. And I will be coming to Kenya, so you will be seeing me soon. So I'll be crashing in your place.
Welcome. Karibu sana.
Why Gambia? Gambia, to be honest with you, that's a really good question, because I was actually supposed to be going to Ghana first, and then, but it didn't happen. You know, for one reason or another, it didn't happen. And so we're disappointed, and we were booking another holiday. We'd actually come from, I think it was somewhere in Greece. And Adrian said, he was looking online for holiday. I said, I'm not doing another European holiday. It don't matter how cheap it is. Like, I need to be my peoples, you know. Or was it, no, is it Greece? I think so. And so I said, no, I need to be with my people, because often enough, I have been to Africa since I was 22. So I had fallen in love with Africa then. And so I've been to Africa with my daughter and so on. So I wanted to come back. And so it was really important. So we saw a holiday come up to go to Gambia. And I said, that's west coast of Africa. You know, seeing that we lost the trip to Ghana and it was considerably cheaper, I said, yeah, we'll go. So when we landed, when we first came, it was so lovely. The reception that we got at the airport, just at the airport alone, they took us out the queue. I had Catherine in a pushchair. I was breastfeeding at the time. You know what it's like when you've got a baby. And all these, you know, like officials came and surrounded us. And I was like, Adrian, did you pack something you're not supposed to? I don't know what you've done. Do you know what I mean? Did you put scissors in the suitcase, you know? And he was like, no. And they came around and they said to us, welcome back to your spiritual home. This is the home of your ancestors. Welcome back. Why are you in this long queue? They took us out the queue and they put us in the line for Gambians. You're Gambian. That's what they told us. And so that moment bonded me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got out that plane. I kissed the ground. I kissed the ground. You know, I did. Everyone was looking at me. I don't care. I'm on the floor. And I was just happy to be in Africa. You know, I mean, I made it back. And yeah, so when they said that, they took us out, and then we went outside, and, you know, we were met by friends. And no, actually, we went onto a coach. That was the second time we met my friends. The first time we actually went onto those coaches and was taken to the hotel. And as we're driving around, Adrian was like, this is not what I thought Africa was going to be. This place is amazing, you know. And it was just so lovely. It was so gorgeous, because you've got the old with the new. And it's like romantic in the sense, well, Afromantic, I should say, in the sense of, you know, the fusion of everything together. So you have a brand new, like, you know, a brand new sports car next to a donkey cart. It's amazing. And I just, you know, fell in love with that. And the people are so sublime, so beautiful, so lovely. I love Gambians. They are nice people. I love Africans per se. I do. I've been to Sierra Leone. I've been to Mauritius. I've been to Senegal. But I've got to say that Gambians have, like, melted my heart in the same way that Kenyans melted my daughter's heart. And so, yeah, definitely. And just the whole atmosphere here is lit. It's lit, and I like to party. So, you know, I really like to go out, and also the atmosphere, and because they also love reggae music, you know, and of course, you know, my parents were born in Jamaica, so our house was always filled with African and Jamaican music, you know, a bit of American music too, but primarily African, you know, Fela Kuti and so on. That is what I was raised on, you know, and so, yeah, so it was just nice having that combination coming back. And it was very Pan-African when I came here, and I loved the Pan-African atmosphere, you know. It was Irish, it was, you know what I mean, Black Power time. And so, yeah, that endeared me, and I kept coming back. I just kept coming back. And the first time when I was leaving, I actually, you know, cried so much that Adrian had to promise me. I cried. Sis, when I mean I cried till by the time I got to London, I'd like, I cried. I did not want to leave, you know. And I was crying. And when I was leaving the airport in Gambia, one of the immigration officers said to me to stop crying. And I said, okay. And the tears were still running. And so I said, I don't want to go back. This is my home. I don't want to go back. And she said to me, stop crying and start planning. You'll be back. You'll come back. She goes, start planning. Whatever it is you want to do. You want your house, you want your land, plan and come back. I was like, okay. And as soon as the plane took off, and then I landed in England, and that was it. I was crying again. And I said, Adrian, you got to build me a house and give me land, and I got to move, and I don't want to live here anymore. And so he promised me. We made a 10-year plan. I think it was something like that. But of course, it didn't work out. We shortened it to a 5-year plan, and we're here. We built our home. We're living happily. You know, we're enjoying every day. Today, I ate some sweet seeds. You know soursop? Soursop.
What's that?
It's a fruit. It's prickly on the outside, white on the inside, and it has little seeds.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, just living life, eating good food, you know, being free, no bills, no mortgage, no rent. Because you've got no mortgage, you own the house. You've got no rent, you own the house. Your electricity is run by solar. All the lights you see, everything is run by solar. And the water comes from the earth. So you have your own spring water. And I have every mod con going here. There's nothing that I don't miss. And so the only thing I don't have actually is a washing machine. And that is because I find hand washing so much better. I don't actually hand wash myself, I confess, only my undies. I shouldn't really say that, should I? But anyway. But only, you know, that's the only hand washing I do. I'd rather create employment. And so a lady, she does the washing and so on. And so, yeah, Kath. Okay, you're back. That was Caffrey. Say hi, Kath. You just came back from the shop. Yeah. So yeah, basically, you know, life is much nicer here, and the cost of living is that much more affordable than living in England. The weather is fantastic. I've got no snow, no sleet, no wind. You know, when I mean wind, I mean like cold wind with icicles and hailstones blowing in my face. Yeah, I have sunlight, you know, and when I'm out in the country, like yesterday, I went to Sanyang, I went to Busura, I went to Kasakunda with other BLAXIT subscribers who have come here, and we just had a brilliant time, just a fantastic time. So I think that really it's just the opportunity for us that we need to be free of police brutality. Don't get me wrong, you get checkpoints and stuff everywhere, but I'm not getting a gun pointed in my head, or I'm not getting arrested for something that I didn't do. I'm not seeing other people getting arrested for something that they didn't do. I'm not seeing the level of restriction and fear that we live in the West. We live in fear. We live with restriction. We live with hostility. We live with racism and discrimination. And we know we're in a place where we're unwanted, basically. We're unwelcome. And, you know, if people don't understand what people did during Windrush when they sent our people home, evil, just evil. I can't think of anything so evil that you could do to some people. And some people died because the government did that. So I think it's time for us to realize that we only really have one home. And that is Africa. That is Africa. So we have to return. To come home, you have to come home, you know. We have to return.
Okay, so how long have you been in the Gambia, and what happened that you said now you are done, you're moving out of the UK? What inspired you to leave the UK?
It was a number of catalysts, actually, but one of them was the racism. My children were going through the most horrific racism. If you Google Juliet Ryan racism, you know, and you look at what they did to my sons, both of them, my middle son and my youngest son, my eldest son, I should say, and my youngest son, they both went through horrific racism at school. I suffered horrific racism as well. And it just got to the point where, you know, your pot boileth over, you can't take any more of the discrimination. And this is the time during Brexit, and Brexit increased hostility and racism to a point beyond. You know, we went right back to like when my parents came, you know, in the 60s. So it was just a terrible atmosphere. So out of Brexit came BLAXIT. And so we were also campaigning for reparations, very much involved in that. And, you know, seeing the obvious, they just ignored us like we were nothing. They treated us worse than animals. And worse than their dogs. And I just said, this has got to stop. And I don't want to be in an environment with people who are like this, because if they want to fight for reparations, then they will be making change, but they're not fighting for reparations, so they want no change. White privilege is always going to be there, and always their racism is always going to be there because they're protecting it. So, you know, it was one of the reasons why, you know, why we wanted to go. Plus, we fell in love with Africa anyway. We realized they've been lying to us about Africa. That was the other thing that really hurt us, is the perceptions and watching it still being portrayed in the media wrongly, intentionally, and watching the stereotypical roles and stuff they put in Black people in, and also the overselling of alternative lifestyles. I didn't like it. The fact that they were going to be pushing it in on schools, they pushed it on my son, you know, and I didn't like it. My other son, he came home from school on his last day of school, and they had written the N-word, 3 times on his back, called him coon, 3 times on his back, put the N-word on his back and wrote, "Go back to the jungle," on his back of his shirt on his last day, his leaving day. And that was it for me. That pushed me over the edge. And I wanted to do something to someone. So I went to the media, and I was on like This Morning on ITV. I was on Sky at breakfast, also with the lovely presenters there. I was in the national press, from the Mirror newspaper, Sun newspaper, to the broadsheets, Standard, Times, etc., Guardian newspaper. And so as a result of that, I started to get targeted for talking up about racism. So can you imagine, you talk about racism and then you get targeted. I went to my local MP and he was absolutely useless. And I just felt like he was also part of the problem. I just felt an underlying racism. He wasn't prepared to tackle the problem. He was talking about his own child who's never experienced racism in her whole life. So it was obviously, they don't understand it, don't want to understand it, because they're the ones perpetuating it. Racism is a white problem. It's just us, the victims of it. So, you know, that was, you know, part of the reason why we had to leave. Also, living there is not economically viable. I wanted to stop giving my taxes to the white man. I wanted to stop empowering the white man. I wanted to stop giving the white man my money. So that was also part of it. I wanted to start empowering myself as an African woman, empowering my children, giving them the right influences in the right environment where they could be free. I wanted my husband and I to have a chance at having a strong and successful marriage, because marriages break down in the UK really quickly because of the stress, financial problems, and debt. You live in eternal debt in those countries. And so I just wanted to be free, debt-free, which I am. I wanted to be, you know, financially independent, which I am. And I wanted to be able to grow what I eat, which I can. So all of the things that I wanted to do, and living among my own people, waking up every morning and seeing my own people just gives me joy. I don't have to, you know, pretend to be friendly or nice, you know, to people who despise me anymore. And so it's really important, you know, I don't have to talk about dogs anymore, you know. How's the dog today? Lovely? Oh, nice. You know, and you don't even like dogs that much. But you know, it's all that fake. Good morning, how's everybody? Everybody all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You're all right. Oh, lovely. Sit down. You have to pretend all day long. You have to sit and work and pretend to be something that you're not with people that don't like you or hostile towards you and ignore you. Like I said to you before, totally ignore you. So those are the reasons why I left. It was hard to leave family members and friends, as it always is. But you have to make a sacrifice when you come here. You have to make a sacrifice for your own happiness. And you're not going to be happy there. You can only be here. You can only be happy here. Yeah, I figured that out.
Okay, you've talked about your children, and every time I see the young one who just greeted me, he's always happy, running in your videos. Was it the same? How has the life of your children changed since they moved to the Gambia?
Yeah, well, my son is far more happy. He's far more free. He's not. My other children are big, so I call them children, but they're not children. My daughter's almost 30 years old, and my other children come and go because she has a big contract. She works for a large firm, and she's doing incredibly well. And she also has her own Black Girl Gamers, and she also has her own platform, Culture, CURE, which is CURE, which is dedicated to Black natural beauty for Black natural women. And so, and she has Black Girl Gamers, which is the only platform of its type in the world. And she's doing incredibly brilliant doing what she's doing. So she's out there and she's got a contract, but she is coming. So she comes back and forth. And so my son is also in university. And so they come back and forth, but they will be coming. That's why we built the house outside. As you can see, that's for my daughter. And my son's bedroom is just there. So, and we built a pool house, which we can put a studio in. So yeah, I'm excited for them. I'm excited for them and their future, and looking forward to them coming home. It's a big step, but it's a worthwhile one because I want them to have the promise of a bright future, and we can create that future here. You know, we can create the extra university courses that you can get there. Here, we can create the jobs that you can get there. Here, we can do everything here. There's nothing that you can't do here. So why are we there?
Okay. The first time I got to know you was from a video I had watched. You know, you did an interview with Wadamaya, and you said England is a dump, Africa is a paradise. But to most Africans on the continent, when they think about England and the Western world, they think it is a parasite. Why a parasite? They think it's a paradise. The Western world is a paradise.
It was right. You're right. It is a parasite. You're right the first time. It is a parasite. It's colonized most nations in the world, and it's still a parasite eating off of Africa. Over-exploiting Africa. It is a parasite. You said it right. It was not a slip. Yeah, you were right. But Africa is a paradise. You are right. Africa is a paradise.
Okay. Why did you say that? Why did you say England is a dump and Africa is a paradise?
Because I've worked with the homeless for a very long time in the UK. So I see the other side to life, which is not the glitter and the front stores of Oxford Street. I see behind Oxford Street at night. I see the homeless people. I see the drug addicts. I see the prostitution. I see the terrible council blocks. I see what happened with Grenfell Towers when all of those people perished in the fire. I see the attitude of people towards those people who died. I saw the after treatment of those people. So you can't, undo that and look at the fact that they didn't put certain things into place because of the people that lived in the Grenfell Tower. So in the Grenfell Towers. So I also, saw all of the unemployment. I also saw the people that are sleeping in the streets. I also saw that last year, 150 people died because of the cold, living on the streets. So I see the other side because, I'm an altruistic person. I'm person who volunteers to help people, who wanted to develop projects to help people. But the racism became so bad that even the very same people I was helping, some of them were racist towards me. And I was helping my own, and my own were fine. But those homeless people, like I said, some of them were even racist towards me. So I just said, you know what, I'm out. I was doing this because I was getting food from a company that is a bakery, well-known bakery, and they were giving the food when they closed out of service. And we had teams of volunteers that would go out in London and in outer London areas and give out food, 3 days a week, because of the homelessness that exists in England. And you don't see that. They don't show you that. They don't show you the poverty. You don't see the food banks. There's 1,200 food banks because people can't afford to eat. You don't see people that are dying in their flats of starvation because they got sanctions from their universal credit. You're not seeing the kind of horrible squalor that some people are living in England. And you're not seeing some places where people are living like 20 to a room because they're not supposed to be in the country. There's some terrible things that people aren't seeing. People think that the pavements are lined with gold, but it's not. It's dog feces. And all of the dogs that they're walking up and down, people think that the place is perfectly clean when, I remember in Whitechapel, one of the drains exploded and this huge, humongous pile of nappies and stench and dirt came from under because they have an old sewer system that should have been revamped. It's like nearly, I don't even know how many hundreds and hundreds of years old is, but it's a Victorian system and it needs to be revamped. So, it's not all shiny and glittery. What you're seeing, like you go to Docklands and you see offices, who lives in offices? And then you see those, nice executive flats, it's rich people that can live in those. The other people are renting. And, they're claiming benefits to live in there. So you don't realize how many people are actually living from hand to mouth. And they're living on benefits. They're living on state benefits. They depend on state benefits to pay their rent so that they can live. They can't afford to work. They can't afford to pay nursery fees. They can't. It's a trap. And so for many people, even when they work, they're just about getting enough money to pay their mortgage and to pay their bills. And then you have so many taxes. You have, a tax to watch your TV license tax, okay? You got council tax, and the council tax is incredibly high as well. And that is just for your civil services, right? You get your national insurance tax, which is for the NHS, but yet you're paying for your prescriptions and some treatments you have to pay for. So you're not actually getting free healthcare. You're paying for the healthcare. It's not free. And so a lot of people get it twisted and think, oh, in UK, you get free healthcare. No, it's my national insurance contributions that's paying for that. Don't get it twisted. And I'm not got any choice in whether I pay for it or not. They take it. When the Queen this year got an 83 million pound pay increase because of the fact that she lost some income. She lost some income because of the COVID crisis from her rentals. The taxpayer, us, we have to fork out to pay this 83 million. You don't have a choice in it. Where's the democracy in that? That's why I said those that are talking about democracy don't have it. It's a dictatorship. They don't have it. There's no such thing as democracy. I couldn't say, no, I don't want to pay towards hers, because even in your money in your bank, they're taxing you. You get taxed, and you have to pay your capital gains tax, then you pay your income tax, then you pay your, listen, there's so many taxes, you even tax when you die. Yeah, everything is a tax, everything is taxed. Value added tax on every single thing that you pay for. Everything is hyped up, and you don't have any control over what you have to pay. Then you have to pay, then you get congestion charge. You already pay road tax, but then you have to pay congestion charge. So the situation is just a dire situation where many people are in a debt trap, a constant, ongoing debt trap. They can't even afford to get to Africa, I'll tell you the truth. Yeah.
Wow.
Those that can should come to get out of the debt trap. It is a debt trap. We were in it. It's only because we had an escape plan. We had an escape plan is how we got out. And I was working like 3 jobs at one time to get out. So it's no joke, working all the way around the clock, almost killing myself. I had a heart attack when I was like 41. I had a periarrest from operation. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't kill yourself. You don't want to die in these places. I didn't want to die there. I made a pact with agent. I am not dying here. I am not dying here. You see, so for people that think that everything that glitters is gold, get it wrong, because get it right, sorry. Don't get it wrong. Don't make the wrong decision and go there, because you might go and get an education, but how many undergraduates are unemployed? And the thing is that the most underemployed people are Black. Almost 50% of our young Black men over there are unemployed, okay? The reason why there are issues, social issues in England, and there are high levels of social issues and higher levels of crime in England that are in most African countries, is not because they're blaming Black people for it, it's because they do not support the young people in the way in which they should. That when I was growing up, there were more facilities in place then than there are now. They took a lot of things away. And so, you know, and areas where there are high populations of Black people, they became gentrified. The areas became gentrified. You know, the low unemployment, what are Black men supposed to do? They're qualified now. They've come out of university, they're in debt because they had to pay, you know, 30,000 off for their student loan, which they're paying off, and they have to pay it off by a job. And that job is taking the student loan out of their money, you see? And so there's a threshold that they have to earn. So it's hard, and rents are high. Rents are so high, you know, just for like a 1-bedroom place, you're paying like 1,500 a month. Wow. That's not even a mortgage. That's, you understand? That's pounds. And so it's hard. It's very hard. And then remember, when you've got a mortgage, you might be paying 2,000 a month for your mortgage. Plus, on top of your mortgage, you still have to pay your water rates. You still have to pay your gas bill. Remember, and it's a cold country, so you have to buy winter clothes every year. You have to buy thick coat, leather boots, you know what I mean? Jeans, trousers, jumpers. It costs a lot. I can wear the same clothes all year round here. You know what I mean? Listen, this is a bliss. This is a bliss. You know, I haven't got gas bills, crazy gas bills, 2,000, 3,000 pound gas bill, just because we want to keep warm in the winter. People, you know, burning electric blankets and stuff, so they wouldn't have to pay high gas bills. It's serious. You've got old people dying in their houses of cold, yeah, of hypothermia. I'm not joking with you. You have people that are committing suicide and making suicide pacts. There was a couple who were in the army, and they made a suicide pact because they couldn't afford to eat. They said they were better off dead, and they had a suicide pact, and they both killed themselves. And these are white people. So if it's that hard on white people, what's it like going to be for us? And we, you know, we got it wrong. We want to drive these big cars. Don't get me wrong. I got sucked into it too. I got sucked in by it too. Because you buy things to make you feel better. So you'll buy that Mercedes to make you feel better. You'll buy that Range Rover to make you feel better, because you just feel totally dispossessed and disowned and rejected in that society. So you enshroud yourself with things. And then you see people marrying outside their race, hoping to belong, and they're still rejected. You know what I mean? They're still rejected. They still can't talk about racist incidents with their partner. They have to suck it down. They then have to pretend they don't see it, which then gives them a personality disorder. So, and then we've got so many people with mental health disorders in England, loads. And we have lots of Black people committing suicide as well. I remember even my friend's nephew he was only 14, jumped out of a window because he was getting bullied because of the color of his skin. So we can't, you know, understate the importance of understanding and appreciating where you are in Africa, because you've got poverty there, you've got poverty in England too. And remember that a lot of people that go the back way, they haven't got access to medical care because they're not allowed to have a national insurance number. Yeah, they're not entitled. They're not taken on as refugees, so they don't get refugee status. So they end up sleeping on the floor. And that's what I said to you. We helped a lot of homeless people who look like us, who were sleeping in Stratford Centre in London. I've got evidence. I'm not joking. You know, where we used to go out and give soup and hot drinks and sandwiches and fruit bags and sandwiches and pasties and so on. So, you know, it's hard. It's hard when you see your own sometimes. And also they get pulled into drug rings, not intentionally because they have to survive. They get pulled into prostitution, both male and female. They get raped and abused. They get assaulted, sometimes killed. So it's a serious situation. Even a situation once where there's a Gambian man who was married by an English woman, a white woman, and he went to England to live. They tried to cover it over like it was something else. And he complained to his family that she used to lock him in the house every day like a dog, literally lock him in the house every day. And that when she went to work, she would just lock him in the house because she didn't want him to go out. Because people have forgotten how controlling these people are. And so basically, one day he must have got sick. He couldn't get out of the house. He was barely alive by the time the ambulances come, and then he died, later on died. And so he left Africa to go and get locked in a house because he was looking for an opportunity for this white woman to then go and die. So I'm saying, don't die like that. Don't die in the back way. Don't die in the sea. Don't die on the way to Libya. You know, another friend of ours was blown up in a building in Libya, trying to get the back way going to Italy. So don't do it. It's not worth your life. Another one dropped from underneath a lorry, got rolled on by wheels. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's better that you take the money that you pay these people to go the back way and you club together and make a business. Club together and make a business. Don't go somewhere where you're not wanted. Just don't do it. Stay at home. My life is 100% better here. And I know a lot of people will be saying, oh, it's because you don't live in a village. You don't understand. Yes, I do live in a village. And yes, I do have certain privileges because I had to work hard for those privileges. It didn't fall in my lap. In England, it did not fall in my lap. I had to fight to get out. And there are so many Africans that have left that can't even afford to come home. Wow. And some of them are so ashamed of the situation, they can't even send money home. You have a few that, of course, have studied and they're in a student visa and they do get good jobs. I'm not saying it's all negative. There are people that even make their own businesses and could make a good life for themselves. But there's no point in living in a country where it can be taken away from you at any minute, because all they have to do is, if they see you going too good, just like what they did with Adrian's cousin, like I said to you, oh gosh, I've forgotten his name, Stemper. You know who I sent you the
Miles? Called Miles? Was it called Miles Stemper? Or something like that?
I think so. You know what? Yeah. I'm not good with names. But anyway, well, I'll send you the name. So yeah, Mr. Semper, what happened with Mr. Semper is the fact that he worked for the bank, and because he was seeming to be doing so well, you know, they trumped up charges and accused him of so many different things and destroyed his life. They accused him of firearms charges, completely trumped up, accused him of fraud and all these things. So if you're doing well, they'll find a way to also destroy your life. And that's not the first case I've heard of. They've done it several times to people. They target people, or they go and accuse them of a crime they haven't committed, like a murder or something, knowing fully well that they didn't do it, just to put them on remand so they destroy their life because they don't want to see you with anything. And so, like I said, it's up to us to make that change, you know? It's up to us to make a difference.
Do you miss anything about the UK?
Yeah, I do actually. I really do. I miss mostly my mom and my children. But that's not the UK. I just miss my family. I don't really miss anything about the UK. There's nothing in the UK to miss. I get fish and chips here. I have a cup of tea here. So I certainly don't miss the snow because I never liked it. I don't think I miss anything. I don't think I miss anything at all, actually. Let me think. No, I'll have to think about it, but I don't really miss anything. It's just people, really. It's people more than anything else that I miss. I think if I missed it that much, I'd be like going back and forth every minute, and I don't. So there's not that much to miss. It's just people. It's just people. The place itself for me always gave me a bad feeling. I used to have anxiety. I used to get depressed there. So I no longer suffer from anxiety, and I no longer suffer from depression. I had terrible arthritis. My health was, like I told you before, my health was deteriorating fast. Because when you're unhappy, your body's unhappy. And so I was crippled with arthritis. I was having steroid injections in my spine. I had already had a hip replacement, was due to have another one to my left hip. I was having injections in my shoulder, in my neck. It was in my spine. It was, you know, I had so many illnesses, thyroid problems, hypothyroidism, PSD, polycystic ovaries. I had, what was the other thing? Low blood pressure. I had just issues, just so many health issues. So it got to a stage where I realized that this place is going to take me out. I watched my auntie, my mom's sister in Jamaica, she died of cancer. I watched my stepdad, who was married to my mom for 32 years. I was there in England by his side while he died of prostate cancer. And then I watched, you know, his brother-in-law, he died of prostate cancer. I watched my friend Sandra, who has breast cancer. Also, Janie, she died of ovarian cancer. I watched so many people dying crashes and just died. Just so many people are dying. Before I left, 3 people died in unknown circumstances. My friend's brother, Adrian, and another Adrian, that is, and my mum's friend. She was only 36 and she died. She had an autistic son and he was looking over her, you know, and was there over a dead body, and no one discovered her until, you know, days later. So I don't want to die like that. And you know, nobody cares. No one cares for you there. You die, no one even knows. No one cares for you. And even so recently, look at the lady, and the same thing happened to her. And her baby son was left in the cot. And, you know, she was discovered dead. No one knows how or why she died, but they say she died of starvation, and that was in Scotland. You can Google it. So
yeah, I saw that lady, the Ugandan lady who died of starvation in her apartment in Scotland. So you can generally say that your health has greatly improved since you moved to the continent, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And
100%.
And for 100%. someone who wants to relocate to the Gambia, how much do you think they might need? Okay, for someone who's starting and they want to like maybe get a piece of land and maybe maybe be able to rent a place, be it a house for you, like how much would someone need? And are there programs, or is there a way that you can guide people through that?
Yeah, the Council of African Descendants was set up for exactly that purpose, because I was getting a lot of requests, and I said, no, we need an organization to support people. And Adrian went ahead with Matthew and Luke and got things sorted and set up Code. And that is what Code is there for. So yeah, in terms of coming, the average rent is about 150 to 200 a month, yeah, for a nice place. So, you know, put that in your budget, your monthly budget. Yeah, plus you have to buy cash power unless it's got solar, and obviously water rates. But it's reasonably low here compared to the UK. It's like 500 Dalasi or so. And your electricity also, you know, is quite low compared to the UK. So you just buy cash power and you pay as you go. So that's easy. Food is very reasonable here. Even to get like lunch, you pay like 70 Dalasi, which is like £1, £1, 5p. And a drink, you know, it's like £1.20 for your lunch and your drink. So, and the food is great. Love the food, as you can see. I've lost weight, but I keep putting it on because the food is too good. So, so I would say that look at those two as your main things. Look at getting a vehicle to get around. But locally, you can still get around using local buses. It's 8 Dalasi a ride, and you can use 8 Dalasi taxis as well. If you use a private ride, then it's slightly more expensive. Like your minimum journey might be like between 50 to 100 Dalasi. So it's still quite reasonable. So I would say if you're coming to rent, you know, for a couple of years, then, you know, take a few £1,000s with you, maybe, you know, £3,000-4,000. If you're just coming to rent, if you're coming to build, that's a whole different ball game. If you're coming to buy a house, it's a whole different ball game. But if you're coming to rent, obviously, if you know your rent is going to be, you know, 1,400 for the year, and you're coming for 2 years, you know, it's going to be 2,500 for those years, you know, for that time. So you know that's the least, you know, that plus you're going to have to survive, plus buy food, plus transport. So I would say, yeah, probably about 4,000 or 5,000 for 2 years. But I mean, compared to the fact that you're paying that in 2 months mortgage, it's in England, you know, it's a bonus. It's an absolute bonus.
Which is your favorite Gambian dish?
Ooh, and boom. I like boom, and I like so many of them. I think boom is my favorite, and I like Benachin. I love Benachin, and I love what's the other one? I like Domada. I love Domada actually. I like Yassa. Do you know what? There's too many to like. There's too many to like. But Super Kandra is my favorite. Super Kandra and Chelen Boom. Yeah.
And have you learned the language now?
Wow, tutti. You know, danka. So I'm learning a little bit slowly. So basically, you know, the Gumalingua Wolof, and I speak it that well, but I'm getting there. So I'm also learning a little bit of Mandinka as well. So learning 2 languages is tricky, but I am being able to say, you know, Kaijama Bena Pompater, or you know, to buy things or to go places or to greet people. So I'm getting a lot better, like how to go there, you know, where do I live, what do I do, that kind of thing. So I'm able to have a really basic conversation at last. So it's taken me a while, but I am getting there and understanding certain words like demadef, demakon, and so on, and defadef. And so yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay. And what has been your highlight, or what has been the highlight of your stay in the Gambia so far?
I think just people, the people, Gambian people, and their reception, yeah, definitely the reception of the Gambian people is to be the #1 highlight of the journey. The people are just genuinely beautiful and nice, and they make you feel so welcome. So it's like citizenship is a piece of paper, but if it was just down to the people, you don't even need it. You know, to be honest with you, if it was just down to the people, you know, and they would just give you the welcome, because the people themselves are the ones that really make you feel welcome. And it's just, like I said, it's just, you know, the same old, you know, usual politics that we have to deal with and colonial laws. But if it's just down to the people, then yeah, that's the perfection. The perfection of Africa is Africans. And so, yeah, it's definitely the people. They're very hospitable, very helpful. They go out of their way for you. They're not doing it for any money. And that's what I find really, because in England, like everyone's like, so, how much is that? How much is this? How much is that? How much is this? And, you know, they have less than people in England, but they're not focused on what they can get. They're doing it to help. And, you know, for me, even like you're offering help, like, no, they will not take, no, as an insult. I'm like, okay. You know, because, you know, when you pay for everything, everything's connected to money. There's no such thing as kindness. You know, what I did from the kindness of my heart, because I'm really altruistic. And a lot of people are altruistic also, but you don't find them so much anymore. It's like become a rarity now to find people that just help for the sake of helping because they want to help. So when you find it in abundance here, and I don't want people to come and take advantage of that, but when you find it in abundance here, it warms your heart. It warms your heart. And it warmed my heart. My heart was frozen in England, you know, it was so cold. And so now my heart is defrosted. Yeah. Giving me back my faith in humanity. That's what it's done. It's given me back my faith in humanity.
Okay. Have you experienced any challenges? And did you ever get to a point and you felt like going back to the UK?
No, hell no. Gosh. No, no, thank you. Um, the only challenges, like I said, I'm having at the moment has been and still is with regard to citizenship, and I'm hoping that they'll be overcome very shortly. So I want to get in contact and have a meeting with the president, and so that's been like my main challenge thus far is having an audience with the president and having an interview with the president for BLAXIT. So that's been like my main challenge. Other than that, they're just small little things that you can cope with and deal with. There's nothing that has been really hard. You know, we've obviously already built our home. We've already moved in. You know, like everything's super cool. I find a way to manage everything. If I find a challenge, I find a system. I'm one of these systematic people. Like I'll find a system. You know, I lived with systematic racism so long, yeah, systemic and systematic and institutional racism so long. You find a system for everything. So, yeah, you find a way to cope. If you can cope with racism, you can cope with anything. So, yeah, that's been my main challenge. Actually, is just getting an audience with the president. That's proven, like you know. But I have spoken to Ibrahim, His Honourable Ibrahim Sankara, who is the spokesperson for the Prime Minister. He's a Prime Minister then for the President of the Gambia. So I'm hoping that he will, you know, make the right gestures. We are waiting for a public statement on automatic citizenship from the government's office. So I'm hoping that someone watches this and does something about it. So yeah, that's the main challenge really, because it's very important to me. It's a passionate thing. It's a challenge of my heart, and it's you know, something that's not just for me. It's for everyone. It's not just for me. It's for the benefit of Africa, and it will benefit Africa everywhere, not just financially, but also with the skills and the information that we bring. Because when you are raised in a country where you have gone to nursery with those people, you have gone to school with those people, you have gone to university with those people, you know, twice, and you have worked with them, lived next door to them in their villages and towns, and, you know, go shopping where they shop, live where they live, do what they, you know, do. You know them very well. And so you can help to educate others so they stop this worshipping, stop the white savior syndrome. You don't need it. It's a waste of time. And stop putting them on a pedestal. It's another waste of time. We need to start, you know, appreciating ourselves and loving ourselves more than anybody else. And don't put any other race before ourselves. It must be race first is us. And we have to prioritize ourselves. And we also have to ensure that no matter what we do, we have our own race superiority in our hearts, and stop allowing them to make us feel inferior. So, you know, but once we prioritize and we have solidarity, race solidarity, we'll start to move forward as a pro-African, Pan-Africanist activist. That's really what my dream is, to see us unify, come together and work together towards a progressively unified Africa.
Okay.
To move towards that would be my dream.
All right. Something I forgot to ask about moving. Did you have to ship your items? Is it cost effective, or is it just better to buy the items in the Gambia?
Sorry, one more question. Say that again.
Yeah, a question that I forgot to ask. Is it cost effective to ship your items, or is it personally, did you have to ship your items from the UK to the Gambia?
We did both, actually. If you look in my house now, everything but the television was bought in Gambia. So yeah, everything but the television was bought in Gambia. We did ship certain items, but most of them, even my dining room table, everything was bought here. and it does turn out to be more cost effective to actually buy here. We had our wardrobes and stuff built here, built of wood. So yeah, we did everything Gambian, but we shipped vehicles, and we shipped items that we were going to sell in our shop. And we shipped some personal effects, especially my books. I'm a bookworm. I read. So my books and I are never divided. So one container was a lot of books.
Your
A lot
library,
of books.
knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's I say do both. I say do both, because you're going to have personal items that you're going to want to bring. And at the same time, if you don't have to ship those big items, then don't do it. You can buy them here. And it is cost effective. And yes, there are African stores that sell everything, and they are African owned. So buy African, shop black, buy black.
You're right. Right. So what advice would you give to someone who is moving to the Gambia, or who is interested in moving to the Gambia? Any advice that you'd give them?
Yeah, number one, be prepared for cultural change. Yeah. Number two, always carry your respect, and remember to treat everyone with dignity and respect. Secondly, come with an open mind, be willing to learn a new language, and embrace the locals, and accept change. Thirdly, understand that there are certain differences here, such as you might have more insects and stuff like that. So you can have coping mechanisms for that, you know, such as insect repellent, stuff like that. Also, what else would I say? Oh yeah, get ready to have a good time. Get ready to have a good time. Go to events and programs, cultural programs. Immerse yourself with the locals. Also, keep your discernment with you, because you know you need to be wise no matter where you are. And so you know you don't know people, so get to know them properly before you give anyone your trust. As you would do anywhere that you travel, you know. But you'll find that most Gambians are actually lovely people. So, you know, once you start to get involved with the locals, you'll really see and go to the villages, travel about, and definitely, you know, research your historical roots while you're here as well. And shop around. Do not take the first price that's given to you, unless it's a good deal, because if it's a good deal, I'll take the first price. I don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, someone said to me, land is, Juliet, this piece of land is $45,000. Buying. Where is it? I'm going to go and look, you know, do my checks, and I'm buying, you know. So that's it. You know, I'm intuitive as well. So use your instincts. But I'm saying do take, you know, advantage as well of opportunities when they come to you, because sometimes Gambians bring you great opportunities. Don't think, oh, you know, because of what I've heard. Don't do that. Don't do that, because, you know, people have always had stereotypes about us too. So don't think that people haven't got stereotypes about outsiders. Ooh. You know, so if we both go, oh, we're never going to get together. So, you know, it's like I said, it's about being discerning, but also being approachable. Don't come and disrespect the people, whatever you do. That is certainly a no-no, yeah? Wakanda forever, yeah? Don't disrespect the people, okay? Certainly do not go online and disrespect the people. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll just make a rod for your own back, yeah? Because the one thing I know about all of my Gambian brothers and sisters, they are beautiful, but they've got long memories. I tell you that for nothing. Yeah, even like the people that sing the songs and so on, I think they call them, what are they called again? The ones that sing the songs over and over again. There are some people here that sing the songs. I forgot what they're called. They'll come back to me in a minute. But they sing the songs, like you learn about your history, and they play the guitar. They play not the guitar, the what's it called again? Kura. the kora. They play the kora, and then they sing, and they tell you like the history. And so the way that they can tell the history from way far back, I know Gambians have got great memories, you know, they've got great memories. And so the name will come back to me, but they are here, and that's one of the things. So don't do bad, because they don't forget, you know, they don't forget good either, you know, just like anything else. And if you do good, good will follow you. And so the other thing is get ready for the weather, get ready for the sun. Yeah, so don't bother bring your winter coats. You don't need them. Also, you know, there's lots of herbs here that you can take as well to make sure that, you know, you keep in pristine condition with your body. Lots of opportunity to walk, lots of beautiful beaches, lots of lovely food, lots of fresh coconut water, watermelon, mangoes, you know. So I'm just saying, just look forward to it, really. That is my advice. Look forward to it. Don't bring lots of clothes, because you can make beautiful African clothes here, you know, and give a tailor some employment. You don't have to wear European clothes anymore. You can throw them all away and wear African clothes all day long. You're not going to get laughed at like you did in England. You know, I remember when I went to work in an African dress once, they asked me if I was going to a fancy dress party after work. Like, I said, no, actually, this is my cultural dress. Yeah, this is my cultural dress. And I take that very personally. And are you trying to discriminate me, or are you just being racist? And it's like, no, Juliet, we're so sorry. You know, like, but what I'm trying to say is that you can wear your clothes comfortably here. So you don't need to leave your European clothes behind and come and, you know, completely revamp yourself and enjoy yourself. I think that is the main advice. Come with enjoyment in your heart and in your mind, and you will have fun. Do you know what I mean? You will have fun. And, you know, like I said, always bring anything that you need to protect yourself as well. So don't forget your umbrella for the rainy season. And, you know, the usual.
All right. Thank you so much, Juliet. It's been a pleasure hosting you. I enjoyed this. It's been an informative session. I don't know if you have anything you want to add, and maybe also let us know how people can contact you and maybe follow your channel. BLAXIT.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So subscribe to African Tigress if you haven't already. Yeah, and hit that like button if you haven't already. And don't forget to make sure you hit that notification bell so you get all her programs as soon as they come up, because they are riveting, they are excellent, they are exciting and full of interesting facts and information. So we've got to give it up to our African Tigress for constantly, you know, giving her time to educate us, enlighten us, and include us, because she always includes us in her live streams. And sometimes I just sit and I observe. I don't even comment, so you don't know I'm there. So yeah, but I'm usually there in the background watching in bed. So if you'd like to, yeah, no, I love your content. And if I have any issues, you know, I privately message you, like, I didn't like that person on there, very negative. So yeah, anyway, but like I was saying, you can get in contact with BLAXIT via email. And BLAXIT is also on YouTube, BLAXIT. So you can also subscribe to the channel, share the love, show the love. And you can also email us via blaxithome@gmail.com. That's BLAXIT, BLAXIT home, HOME @gmail.com. And if you'd like to support the channel, because we're planning to take our automatic citizenship on the road. So we're currently going to be doing a raffle, which I will be sharing with African Tigress, of a piece of land in the Gambia. So we want you to get your tickets. And I think the cheapest ticket is about £20. So it's not going to break the bank, and you could win a piece of land because of that. So if you're interested in that, we'll be sharing that with African Tigress. So if you'd like to support the channel and you'd like to, even buy a ticket, which you can right now, you can do it via PayPal. You can make a donation to PayPal, £20 donation to PayPal. And you must put that it's land raffle on there, because it's your name that we enter into the raffle. So the raffle is actually, we enter your name and then it's picked randomly by a computer. So you have to put your name and the fact that it's a land raffle. And so I'm launching it here first before it even is on my channel. Imagine that. You got an exclusive here. So I've launched it on African Tigress's channel first. And so you can do that by paying via...
Can I participate too? Can I?
You can, of course you can. Of course you can. Anyone can. So anyone can. So it's only £20 for the minimum ticket of one entry, and I think it's £40 for 2 entries, and for 4 entries it's £75 for 4 tickets for 4 entries. And so you go to PayPal and you use the email BOP Collective, BOP Collective at yahoo.com. So that's BOPCOLLECTIVE at YAHOO.com. And so when you enter, you must put land raffle and your name. We will know how many entries you have from the amount that you have donated. So £20 is for 1, and we got 500, we're allowing 500 entries. Yeah, this is to raise money for the African Development Fund. And part of that is to help with emergency treatment for people that are sick here. And the other part of that is to help with code with the African Descendants Council, because we want them to help with the citizenship program. So that's very important that the Council of African Descendants are enabled to help with that, and also to help people repatriating. So this is what it's for, and to help local villages that we want to support, essentially. We really want to help local villages. And when I say help, I'm talking about financial help. So don't think we're going to go and just give a hand. There you go. It's financial help to put in facilities that are needed in the local villages. So be it a school, be it a health center, be it a standpipe, be it a well, be it facilities to help the elderly, or a local bus for the school to get the children to school, whatever is needed. That's what we want to do, because we didn't come here to sit down. And so we are putting our mouth where our money is, and our money where our mouth is. And I'm actually personally giving up a plot of my land, to enable the development of Africa.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, BLAXIT. I think a lot of people know you by BLAXIT. I don't even know how many people call you Juliet, but thank you so much. I'm definitely going to BLAXIT. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to leave a link to your channel, and go ahead, support her channel, and to the everything that you're working on. I'm definitely going to share the details in the comment section, the pinned comment, and also in the description box. So asante sana. You say karibu.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me. Definitely enter. It's for a good cause.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, African Tigress.
Cheche